Now, so what I'm going to discuss with you in the next maybe 20 minutes or so is the basics of what is carbon trading, what benefits we expect if we keep the trees standing, I mean not cutting them. I'll start with what Malaysian government position about this issue. Okay, for example, we can look at RM12, Malaysia Plan number 12. In that thick document, for those of you who like to read documents, so you can check page 12. It says like this: study on economic instrument and payment for ecological services and carbon pricing. Okay, it's mentioned very specific. Yeah. And budget for 2020-22, unquote, Malaysia carbon neutral by 2050, and federal government plan to have voluntary carbon market under Bursa Malaysia. Bursa Malaysia is KLSE, Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange, the same organization. This Bursa Malaysia will be a platform to facilitate the carbon trading and between green asset owners and entities who is moving towards decarbonization. Okay, this decarbonization is a catchphrase. Okay, everyone talk about it. Okay, it's like spreading like a wildfire. You know? And actually, this talk actually I already deliver in a different form, in the lecture form, in sometimes in November 2021. There, you can go and search it, YouTube. That's a full recording. That's a lecture version. And if you don't want to read technical stuff, to listen to technical stuff, you can read. This is a journalistic version. This is Mr. Kan Yeo Chong interviewed me sometime April 2022. Okay. Now let's start. Okay. First of all, okay, what we call carbon. Okay, carbon actually is an equivalent measure. Okay, of course, greenhouse gases. Okay, there's many types. Okay, if you try to remember, you get headache. Okay, for example, SO2. Okay, refer to sulfide oxide. CH4 methane, N20 nitrous oxide, and NOx, CFC, HFC, all the C. Okay, I can go on until here. Many types. But in carbon trading, they just call them carbon. Actually, doesn't mean only CO2. Okay, it means all these equivalent of carbon. Okay. Now, what carbon we actually talk about when we say we want to trade them? Okay, this is the emission. Okay, CO2 that emitted to the air from combustion engine, from when we drive a car, transportation, oil and gas when they pump out or drill oil and gas from deep underground, on and offshore, and of course, without emitting CO2, we will not have electricity, for sure. In fact, every minute we exhale, we actually emitting carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide will be absorbed by everything green around us. Okay, this room has no green thing, but outside yes. So, what actually is, to summarize, what is carbon trading? Carbon trading actually is buying rights to pollute. Okay, you buy the rights to pollute. Okay, this is very strange concept. Okay, like you have a license to dirty the environment. Okay, just in the simple form. Okay, and another basic facts about carbon trading is this: that like I say, the green around us us, okay, is potted plants, succulent, whatever we have at home to absorb carbon dioxide. We cannot see from our naked eyes if it's the leaves, right? On the surface, the leaves has a soma. Soma is like the nose. They inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen for us to breathe. Okay, so we need plants. Plants need us. Actually, plants don't need us. Without human, also they can have oxygen. Okay, but we need plants, right? And when we have a green forest, big or small, even grass, that cover underneath the ground actually has carbon dioxide and all those GHG stored, okay, from the beginning of time, ever since the Earth's surface existed until now. If we don't dig it, if we don't plow it, that remains as it is. Okay, only from time to time worms and other microorganisms will use them. So soil actually is not, inside the soil you cannot see with naked eye because a lot of organisms in it, okay? But if you expose them, that carbon dioxide GHG will release to the air. Another is, when you have a standing tree can sink, can absorb it. So these two things, one, the tree absorb it through soma, another is on the ground already stored. One bank, one is absorbing it on the real time, okay? These are called flow, and the one that on the ground is called store, okay? Right. Now, we talk about carbon emission, okay? Means all the GHG emission, okay? Now, let's see us compared to our neighbor, okay? Let's see, you can see the number. Malaysia is there. In 1971, when I was born, the entire Malaysia only produced about 14 million metric ton equivalent, okay? By 2009, it became 199, almost 200 million metric ton, okay? And then, now, this is 2018, that is 262. Now, where is our position compared to our neighbor? The highest, of course, here, South Korea, okay? South Korea, and then second, Indonesia. You can look at it. What interesting is this, yeah? You notice, yeah? This is ASEAN, okay? This is ASEAN, and this is a developed country. Develop. People say, yeah, if in order for you to have a growth and development, mean to become advanced country, mean rich country, you need to sacrifice in terms of to have a lot of pollution. That is not true. Look at Singapore. Singapore income is the same level of European and US. And with this, Korea, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. But they have very little CO2 emission. What is their secret? Okay? That is very interesting. Okay? Facts. Who has the lowest? Of course, you can see per capita, if you want, per person living on that country. Okay? Philippines, yeah? Philippine people, per Filipino and Filipina, they only have about 1.2, each of them. Who has the highest? There, South Korea. Although the emission in total, Korea has big emission. Then also each Korean also they have large carbon footprint. Okay, these are called carbon footprint. Okay, every time we take aeroplane, we leave a trail of carbon dioxide or CHG behind us, just like that, okay? Right. So put this in mind. We have about 262 per year, okay? This information is useful to understand the next one, okay? Exactly Okay, exactly from that 262,000, who among our industry actually consider polluters, okay, polluters. Culprit number one, okay, energy sector, okay, energy. You see how big is it? Almost 90%, okay, of that. The second followed by solid waste. Solid waste can be solid, can be effluents in liquid form. It can be gas, okay, waste. Then industrial processes, industrial as you know, okay, and agriculture, okay, agriculture. In case you read about rice shortage, kan? Very recent hot topic, right? Rice disappear from the shelf. Out of a sudden, do you know that rice actually emit carbon dioxide? Okay, so we are paying Thailand, Vietnam, Bangladesh, China, where we buy our rice from. They emit carbon dioxide, then we pay them to do it. Because we buy their rice, we eat them. We don't want to sacrifice our air, we let them to do it, but we pay in money. Not sure, you think it's fair or not, okay? Right, and another, this is LUFC, land use change and forestry. A lot of you have a natural bias. When you talk about forestry, you think about logging, kan? And logging you think is no good. They are polluting. Of course they are, because they are uprooting the tree, they are cutting the tree, they therefore release carbon dioxide. But actually the contribution very small. Then we talk about forestry in the next many slides. Right. Transportation, where is transportation? Okay, because as you suspect, car, whenever we put on the gas, you can see the smoke coming out from your exhaust, right? Very vivid, you can see it on daily basis. But these are all in here, okay? Included in all here. Energy, number one polluters. Remember energy, and solid waste, the one that pollute our environment. Okay, now we talk about energy sector. Let's see. How clean is our energy? How clean is our electricity? Okay. Now, Malaysia has, oh no, missing the total here. But anyway, never mind. Sabah, Malaya, Sarawak. Okay. Let's see. We start with dirty energy. Why we call dirty energy? Dirty energy because coal fire, use coal, or combined gas and coal. Usually when you say combined gas and coal, more coal than gas. This gas is just to cover up. This is a trick. Okay. Next is oil-fired plants. Oil-fired plants mean they just simply use petrol, diesel. Okay. So Sabah has 4, Malaya 6, and Sarawak 3. I don't know this oil fire how many. Okay. They are very secretive, so I cannot find. And total Malaysia, okay, coal 8, okay. Now this is dirty energy, dirty electricity, okay. Let's go to clean energy, that is clean electricity, okay. Which one of the source is considered clean? Gas, natural gas, okay. When we drill and suck out petroleum, we also get gas. Okay, if you drive, pass by SOGT Kimanis, you will see one big tower, chimney-like structure with a flare, burning all the time, almost 24 hours. Okay, do you know why is that? Why do they burn things that they dig so deep and spend a lot of money, and yet they burn it? I'll tell you later if we have time. Okay, right now gas. Sabah got 2 gas fired, Malaya got 19, Sarawak got 2, and all total 23. Hydro, Sabah 1 only, 10 ohm, Although there was few, but not completed, abandoned. Malaya got 16, and Sarawak got, actually this is more, okay, more than 3. I think maybe this wrongly typed. Sarawak actually is about 5 hydro, yeah, 5 or 6. Okay, this is the cleanest among all. Among these, gas, hydro, and biomass. Biomass is considered the most environmental friendly for many reasons, okay. Sabah, top winner among all. Malaya, 5, the same, but actually 1 Malaya is not working. So we have 5 plus 1, another one new, 6. So biogas is captured from palm oil effluents, okay, palm oil effluents, palm oil mill effluents, discharge, okay, when they boil the kernel and also to extract oil, they have a wastewater, okay, that wastewater, you can actually capture the methane. If you don't capture, it will be released to the air. So if you drive through Kudat, you will see Sawit Kinabalu, very near to the road. You can smell it. Okay, you can smell. That means they're not actually capturing anything. They just, because it's free for all. There's no police checking how many they go to the air, right? Besides, who is going to tell them, hey, you're polluting the air? Nope. Okay. The air, who owns the air? Birds, maybe. Right. Okay. Hybrid power plant. Okay. Wind turbine plus solar. This one for Sabah, Malaya 1, and Sarawak, I don't know, 2. Okay. Okay. So 53, yeah, altogether. So you can see that our dirty energy is 13, but clean is 55. So in terms of international standard, we pass with flying colors because we have 55 clean energy plants. Okay, that's good thing. Actually, Sabah is leading in one area. Okay, that is not having a coal fire, because maybe all of you one time involved in green surf, fighting against coal fire in Silam. Okay, so Sabahan people stood for their rights, and we won, and that's a good thing. Okay, unfortunately, although Sabah won on that ground, but we lost in one dimension, which is we have a lot of trash, rubbish at the beach, at the coast area. This actually is carbon too, but not gas form, in the solid form. And this one much more malicious, much more dangerous compared to the air. Okay, right. Now, back to carbon trading. Trading means buy and sell. Okay, who should buy? Okay, plant. One sector that should actually consider must be in this area is power plants should buy carbon credit because to offset the carbon dioxide emission. Okay, they don't tell us exactly how much carbon dioxide and CHG they are emitting per plants, but we can roughly calculate, estimate. Okay, this is the electricity they generate. This electricity from this 5,000 million kilowatt from the dirty electricity from oil is about 180 megawatt. How much CO2 emission? No information. Okay, Sarawak, we don't know here the supply and use, but we can calculate how many of the plants actually producing certain electricity, and we don't know the carbon dioxide. Okay, Malaya is the same. Malaya produce 11,000 megawatt from coal fire. That's a lot. Okay. Well, if you notice, Malaya, they have a lot of use of electricity, and also because they have too many, they also many power plants, because 29 million Malaysian people live in Malaya. Okay, only 5 million live in Sabah and Sarawak. So that will be odds if we have opposite. Okay, that means we are selling to them. That can be done too. Okay, right. Right. That is first electricity, that biggest polluter. Okay. Second polluter, mining and quarry. Okay, so we just now we identify who is the polluters. These are the players that we expect to be active in buying and selling carbon offset. Okay, let's see. Mining and quarry means only one thing for Sabah and Sarawak: oil and gas. Okay, oil and gas. Now, mining, you must remember, despite the fact that they are polluters, they also contribute. Okay, we cannot live without them. Okay, this is why. Look, this sector is 28% of Sabah production. 28. Okay. Second only after service sector, that is 44%. Service sector means like tourism, like that. Okay. That gives 24 billion. Okay. Value a year. Okay. Now, if you want to be specific, export, in terms of export, this is 29 billion, and then another product from petrol is methanol. This is 2.8 billion. Okay, that's how much we rely on this sector. Okay, and this sector contribute 1.26 billion to state budget. Okay, our state budget is that last time, 4.7 billion. Federal said they allocate 5 billion, but federal give to their own agency. Okay, it doesn't go to the state. But this state budget, the one from mining and quarry, in the form of petroleum royalty and petroleum product. Okay, so that's the detail. Okay, now let's talk about the forest. Okay, just now we identify polluters who should buy carbon offset. Now we identify where this carbon stored and who is sinking the carbon. Okay, who is absorbing the carbon. Okay, now tropical rainforest, the carbon is two form. Okay, one is the flow, another is a stock. For those of you who study accounting, you understand. Okay, understand this concept. Okay, flow fluctuates. Okay, fluctuates. Flow fluctuates, or what we call sequester. Okay, sequester or sink. Every standing trees absorb certain amount. So according to latest calculation, for every hectare, 11 metric ton worth of absorb sequester ability. Okay, and above that is above ground biomass. Okay, now we talk about the carbon below the ground, the one that being stored. Okay, for long time. Okay, for long time. That is what we call stock. Okay, stock usually do not really fluctuate unless you cut the trees and you work the land. In that sense, then you actually release the carbon store for millions of years. Okay, so this is two you need to keep in mind to understand this subject. Okay, now for stock, the standing tree, mature tropical rainforest store around 300 metric ton carbon dioxide per hectare. Okay, that's how incredible is our tropical rainforest. Okay, that's a lot of carbon dioxide being stored. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, the idea to actually buy the rights to pollute came from a guy named Ronald Coase, British. He dead already, but his idea still being used until today. Okay, carbon trading. He say like this, say like this. If one person pollute, the other person suffer from that pollution, you can do many things. One, you penalize people who's polluting, and you pay that person who suffer, compensate. Okay, you can do that, or you can do tax. You tax people, the one that pollute, you tax him. Can also, but he said that's no good. He said, let him pollute, and let him decide. Let him negotiate with the person who suffer. Everyone has a price. How much pollution are you willing to suffer? So you name it in the form of money. That's his basic idea. Okay, whether you think it's crooked or not, wicked or not, that's different issue. Okay, right. Important is when we produce something, we have goods. Yeah, we produce something. We must not forget, in order to produce that goods, we also need to pollute. These two are cannot go without. Okay, if you have goods, you have pollution. You cannot have goods without pollution. Just like you cannot drive a car without leaving your exhaust behind you. Okay, right. Now, what actually carbon trading in original structure? Okay, when it was formulated in 1960. See like this, yeah. The amount of pollution government supposed to set limit to how much quantity of pollution we can accept. Okay, the entire Malaysia can accept. Okay, government said. Then, after they decide which level, if they want to stop at 262, just now I show you, not our level of pollution, then they need to set a limit. They have to give a quota to those industry that I already identified as a polluters. Okay, because each of them will have a quota, how much you can go. So they put a ceiling. If you go up beyond that you're given your allowance, then you need to either buy it from someone else who is polluting less, or you do something else. That is, you offset. Okay, this is what is the essence of our discussion. Okay, so this one is a little bit technical, but the idea is very simple. Okay, just now there is about 5 sectors. So government need to set quota for each one of them, put a limit. They cannot go as they like. They cannot pollute as they like. And if they don't have enough, then they have to buy from among them. Okay, just that. Okay, just that. Actually, there's a mathematics behind it, but I don't think it's necessary. And if you want, you can come to my class. I will not charge you. You please come. You tell me. I will allow you. In university, okay? University. So, okay. Under carbon trading, so you think carefully. Carbon trading give incentive to reduce emission below what government said. Okay, that is legal requirement. Okay, so the firm can expand the operation by buying the rights from someone else. Okay, if they finish it, just like you buy last time, right? Before you telephone, right? Internet, right? You buy credit, right? You go, you pay money, and they give you, they put a code, and then okay, this much of internet you can use, given expiration date, right? So exactly the same. Okay, exactly the same thinking. Very simple. Okay. Now, the G set target reduction in annual emission. It can be example. Yeah, example. They can actually start with power plants. Okay, just now power plants. Okay, this is just example. Power plant. Because it's a major polluter. Okay, power plants can have other choice. So coal fire, for example, the most polluting source of energy, coal. So fire plant utility, boiler can use technology, NOx burner technology, low NOx. This NOx is one of the GHG. Or you can also, number 2, to meet new emission standard or to reduce your sulfur dioxide. This one I will give you example in a short while. From base year to target year. Okay, just if target year is 2050. Okay. Or they can also install system that actually monitor the amount they emit in a year, okay? Then they can have a record, easy to audit, okay? And rarely being implemented is penalty for people not compliance, okay? Not yet, maybe, yeah. So that means this system require a tracking system. Someone need to authorize, okay, within a utility to emit certain amount of metric ton, for example, SO2, during or in the following years, okay. So this is just the detail. At the end of the year, a unit must hold the amount of allowance at least equal to what they are given limit, okay, the limit given to them, okay. And a plant must not exceed the limit set by the government. And these are the allowance. Fully marketable. These allowance are fully marketable, means that if you have excess, you don't use them, the rights, you can sell it, and you can set your own price. Okay. So if you want to make money, you don't pollute, you sell it. Or some factory, they reduce their operation. They have extra allowance, so they sell it to people who actually having expansion because of the demand in the area, okay? Example. Now, power plants can either buy CO2 credit. This is not the only way out to deal with this emission, okay? Power plant, for example, can adopt energy conservation measures. They can increase on their renewable energy. Renewable energy can be, as you know, solar panel and etc. etc. But solar panel sound very romantic and very idealistic, but it actually is very expensive. You think about it, okay? I am a solar panel adopter, so I can tell you, battery is expensive. That lithium battery cost 20,000 ringgit, okay? So then increase, okay, this one already. You reduce your usage, you employ pollution control technique, etc., etc. Okay. If there is a new plant, you don't give them allowance, but they buy it from what is already existing. Okay. Just that. Okay. Just that. Now let's talk about this most controversial agreement. Okay. Most controversial agreement. Nature Conservation Agreement. Okay. Signed to 28 October 2021, 2 years ago, okay? This, I took it from their statement, okay? This is not my own words. So, for selling forest carbon storage and sequestration, this is the stock and this is the flow, and its other ecological services to companies interested in buying credits to offset the emission, okay? To offset means you pollute and you buy something else in order to offset it, to make it even, okay? Some people say like this, yeah? During medieval time in Europe, when Roman Catholic was in power, they are selling indulgence, okay? Indulgence. Indulgence is a piece of paper from the Pope and his institution. This paper, if you buy, it will absolve all your sin, and you are clean slate again. If you kill someone, all you need to do is to go to the Pope and his institution and buy indulgence. Gabam, you are innocent man again. So yes, it is. Okay, the critics of the system say like this. This is, you are giving license to people to pollute as they like. Okay. Now, they say bond. Yeah, the words bond 2 million hectare of forest for the next 100 years from 2021. Revenue to finance restoration of area previously mined, logged, and cleared by industrial agriculture. Very clear, okay? It's very clear what they want to do. This bond refer to the carbon bond, okay? For those of you who in the financial sector, you know what bonds mean. Bonds is a type of stock, but it takes longer time to mature. And the return is very small over time. 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 100 years, bond. Bond means if you buy them, they take something and keep the thing there. If you bond yourself, you slave. You have no freedom. Mean they bond you, they hold you. Okay, bondage, slavery. Okay, just the same. So when we say about carbon bond, means this is what we call certified tradable offset. Okay, don't worry about these big words. It simply means bond. Okay, if they have 2 million hectare forest, that means they will chop this off, this 2 million into small pieces, and sign a contract according to how much carbon stored and carbon sequester capacity of that forest per hectare. Okay, they chop it off and then sell it as selling paper. Okay, as church selling indulgence. Okay, just that. Now, oh sorry, wrongly button. So this CTO actually is the first one in history. It was in 1996. Okay, Costa Rica government. The forest in this island, this tropical island in South America, being cut, logging. Okay, being logged. So they actually wanted to save the remaining standing forest at that time. And Costa Rica doesn't have natural resources other than geothermal, hot spring, volcano. Okay, they don't have gold like us. We have gold, but no more. Already abandoned. Mammoth. Okay, they don't have oil. So what happened is they talked to Norwegian government. Norwegian government, they have forests, but they don't have tropical forests. The difference between Norwegian government, Northern Europe forest and our forest is different, very different in all aspects. Okay? Diversity in terms of carbon sink, carbon storage. We are much more superior. Because Costa Rica government borrow money so much from Norwegian government, they have to surrender their forest. This is what we call debt for nature swap. Okay, so when you borrow someone, you have, well, if human being, you can give yourself to them. Maybe they make you a sex slave or something. But country, if you borrow from another country, what you give? You can give to your people also. True or no? Work for you, like North Korean. But Costa Rica give their forest, and that's what they have. So they have big area of Costa Rica, and then this Norwegian government chop them off and give a price of 10 USD per bond. Okay, per bond for contract. So just that's where this idea came from, and these are the model that promoted during Kyoto Protocol. Okay, you heard of Kyoto Protocol, right? Kyoto Protocol set a target for developed country and developing country. And this is a very crooked idea, I tell you why. Under Appendix 1 and 2, developed country, because they pollute so much, especially Europe, and that's Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea. So because they pollute so much, they go and buy carbon offset from country who has a lot of forest like us, and we don't have pollution that much as them. This is the same as them sending garbage to us. Okay, you read about this? Australia sending Japan, all the country around the world, developed country, rich people, send their garbage to us. For what? Can we eat the garbage? The same as this one. To store, to keep it here, because we have a lot of space. And of course, some crook people, they don't want to pay storage, so they just dump it any way they like. Okay, no one is policing it anyway. So this is the same idea, only different form of carbon dioxide. Okay, different form. Now that's it. Yeah. Where is our carbon dioxide stored and where is that standing tree? Okay, let's see. Store and carbon sink area under forest and other land in 2018. Okay, reserve forest under forest, that is 3.5 million, and this is state land under forest also. These are the details, including plantation area. Almost 1,784,000. Sabah parks and wildlife area, like the one in Sapilok, is 274,000. In total, Sabah has forest with storage and sinking ability 4.5 million. That's a lot of forest. Okay, that's a lot of forest, which is good. Actually, it's more than what Malaya has. More detail of where is our carbon, where is this precious carbon being stored and at the moment being sink. Okay, in terms of type of forest, in terms of type of forest, 100,000 hectare undisturbed high forest, montane forest. Okay, almost 1 million is hilly type of forest, mangrove, half of that, and then there's another forest that between sea and rivers. Okay, in between. So this is a transition beach and freshwater swamp. 78,000. This one is very big, 3 million. This other forest, immature and disturbed. Do you know what disturbed means? Already cut. Log. Okay. They don't want to put log there. You see, the word log does not appear in our statistic and also does not appear in any Sabah Forestry Department reports. You will never find these words, log, in their report. What appears is Forest Management Unit, Sustainable Forest Management. But this actually is cutting trees. Okay, don't be fooled. Is there a department here? Well, okay. Well, I'm not sorry to say it. It's true. Okay. Okay. Now, in terms of class, okay, this is important. Okay, and this is what that NCA was talking about. That 2 million they wanted to do is somewhere here. Okay, where is it? They didn't tell in detail, okay, because they don't they're not transparent. I don't know why. Okay, they must have a reason. They have their own reason. Okay, but we can only guess. Okay, now class 1 forest is 1.3 million. Class 1 means no one people living. Human being not supposed to live inside. Outside can, inside cannot. Other living thing can. Orangutan can. Orang tidung, orang sungai can. Orang sungai, orang tidung cannot. Orang hutan can. Okay, class 2, this is trouble. Commercial. Commercial mean forest reserve for whom? For timber company. It's very funny, right? How can you reserve your forest just to be cut? So why should you call it reserve when you want to cut it anyway? It's kind of a big question mark. Number 3, class 3 domestic. This one sometimes got people. This one, okay. Some people they allow, not really they allow, but they have no choice. Okay. Many indigenous people live in this category. This one too, class 4 amenity. Okay. For example, this example, Tabin Wildlife Reserve, Kulamba Wildlife Reserve. Those of you who know this area, well, you understand how many people live around this area, okay? Mangrove also, sometimes got people, okay? This one, no people. Class 6. Okay, I only have few more slides to go, okay? Now, cutting trees, okay, logging. Also, we cannot live without it. Economically speaking, okay? When we allow logging to happen in that 4.9 million hectare forest, that gives state budget about 217 million, came from that source. Export about 1.5 to 9 billion. So timber industry actually also give in terms of multiplier effects. In economics we call multiplier effects, means that it gives job and also income to individual who is working for. How many people work in this sector? It's about 70,000 people, okay, along supply chain, okay. That is the same number of fishermen in Sabah. Do you know that? Sabah has 70,000 fishermen. Very strange, right? But it's true. Okay, now because we we allow that area to be cut, so we can say we sacrifice this much of carbon store. When you log, you release. Okay, this is a little bit over estimation, but not so far from there. This is the quantity of carbon or GHG that being released to the air. If they cut the entire area, of course not. Okay, it's not a clear cut, but they only log valuable timber. Okay, in terms of sequester, we sacrifice, like I say, for hectare 11 metric ton zinc. We sacrifice this much because we have we want this revenue from the industry. Okay, so remember I say, if you want benefit that is good, you produce something, you need to sacrifice something. This is what we sacrifice for. Okay. The cost of protecting that forest is already mentioned about just now. Yeah, forest give about 200 million to the state budget. So the state government use half of it to pay for the protection of this forest reserve. Okay, that's the budget of department, forestry department in a year, 100 million something. Yeah. Other than giving the budget to the department to look after those forests, we also benefit from the forest reserve that we are not cutting, because there's not all for cutting. That class 1 to 7, not all for. Okay, so the one that saved from timber, we have this much of storage carbon dioxide. Okay. And sequester ability this much, to 20 million, this 752 million metric ton. Okay, metric ton. Yeah, that's a lot of storage and also a lot of sequester capacity. You see, just now, actually, for many years, yeah, federal government, every time they have a federal budget, they include this like this. Federal government will pay ecological fiscal transfer to the state for keeping trees standing. I'm not sure have they ever paid. I don't know. Okay, because we have the storage and we have the sink ability. They said they're supposed to pay us, but how much they should pay us, that can be calculated. Okay, it's not a difficult math. So state government, politicians should start sending request letter to federal government. Our standing tree has value. So the inventory, yeah. And having said that, yeah, the inventory of storage and also our sink ability, actually, we need technology. Okay, you need technology, LiDAR. Okay, LiDAR, light detection and ranging. Okay, we need to use a micro light aircraft or small aircraft. We use I forgot the name, LiDAR, and to measure carbon dioxide store underground, and also the one that all the tree standing capacity to sink. Okay, that can be measured, and in order for us to confirm that estimation, to calibrate, we need to send someone on the ground, what we call ground truthing. We go to plot and do some sampling. We have to drill soil sample and take and count, measure carbon dioxide. Okay, and this takes time and takes money, a lot of money. So if any company who claim to be in this market, if they say they know the value of our storage and also sink, they must be expert in this. Otherwise, that will be difficult, okay, to believe them. Now, back to the NCA, okay. If that NCA, that 2 million they wanted to do include Forest Reserve Class 3 and Class 4 and Class 5, this with human being, more often than not they are native people, indigenous people. By international convention, they should receive free prior informed consent. Without this, there's an implication, okay? This is a cost-benefit analysis of status quo. We have some area we've been cutting since independent because we need that revenue. And at the same time, we also have area that we don't cut, and because we don't cut, we have storage and also sinking ability, and those things has value. After all that calculation, you can say that the net present value is positive. Means that the benefit actually outweigh the cost at present. Okay, I will not go in detail. Okay, if you want to know, you can look at it later. This is Forestry Department. They have all their own estimation of what is the value of our carbon stored underground, and also the trees, standing trees, absorbing from the air. Okay, they say 1 hectare of forest reserve store 157 metric ton of carbon dioxide. At the time when they did that estimation, the value of per metric ton is 5 USD. Okay, 5 USD per metric ton. The one that I use in that cost-benefit analysis actually is based on the latest estimation. If you notice, they only give about 157 metric ton. The new estimation said about 300 to 400 metric ton. Okay, so that's big difference. Okay, now the situation of our carbon market in Malaysia. Now, okay, what we have now, where's the market? Okay, so we have, just now I mentioned about Bursa Malaysia, CO2 exchange, BCX. Okay, the first auction in March this year. BCX is a voluntary. Voluntary means people who buy and sell, they do it of their own. There's no legislation for them to comply. Okay. So the result of that auction, 150,000 Vera registered carbon credit. Okay, what is Vera registered? Yeah. In auction, the value of things that you sold will go to whoever willing to pay the highest. Okay, that's why we call it auction. Okay. Now Vera actually is a company. Okay. The office in the United States, they employ a lot of people, including one Malaysian. I met this Malaysian, okay, Patricia Effendi. Okay, Vera registered job is, they claim to be non-profit. That is not true. Who is paying their salary? Okay, can't be non-profit. Okay, so they operate a standard in environmental and social market, including CO2 crediting program. Okay, they actually issue VCU, okay, Verified Carbon Unit. This Verified Carbon Unit represent reduction or removal of 1 ton of CO2 equivalent by a project, and this is what that NCA wanted to do. Okay, to cut that 2 million into a contract equivalent of VCU. Okay, and this VCU, they are not the only register in the market. There's many, but somehow this one is the one that used by people who in that Bursa Malaysia BCX. Okay, individual cannot open account. You need to be institution. Okay, institution. Okay, BCU. Okay, BCU can be. Oh yeah, who actually involved in that transaction, in that auction? Okay. One is global technology-based carbon contract, okay, GTC. Okay, just remember that was technology. They sold CO2 credit from a company from a Linshu biogas recovery and power generation project in China, in Shandong, Shandong province. Okay, what this company does, okay, what they doing until now, okay, they have alcohol, but they actually produce alcohol, beer, for example. And when you produce alcoholic drink, you produce wastewater. Yes, wastewater, methane. So usually they will just release it, okay, release it to the air or release it to their pond, okay, biogas retention pond. So if you capture all the gas, you can actually use it to generate electricity, okay. Yes, biogas, okay. This is very strange. Why I say very strange? Because this carbon credit is in China. The project is in China, okay. But the buyer is in Malaysia. I tell you why, okay, in the short while. Next project is called Global Nature plus something, okay. And this one actually is a project in Southern Cardamom project in Cambodia. And this is Kokang province, very far from Phnom Penh. Actually, this is a national park, okay? National Park, Cardamom National Park. It's so big, this park is actually consists of the other side of Myanmar. And the most interesting about this national park is that Silk and Belt Highway cut them, okay? The Chinese money for and builds super highway, and as a result of having this park, many indigenous people being displaced, mean they don't have place to live because they're not allowed to live inside the national park. Obviously, they cannot stay under the highway, so they have no way to go. And this project, this is exactly what NCA wanted to do, that become controversial to NGO in Sabah, okay? Because NGO in Sabah concerned about what if these native people life will be affected by this project, okay? Because it involves bond of 100 years, okay? And they can do certain things, but mostly cannot, okay? Now, so who actually bought this contract? How many contracts was sold? 150,000 contract was sold on that auction. 100,000 contract from, guess, from which one? Which of these two sold the most contract? Can anyone make a guess? Number one, number two? Okay, actually no. Actually, the most popular is number two. 100,000 contract sold from this one. This one only 50,000. So altogether 150,000. Yes. This one is the clearing price was only 18 ringgit. Clearing price means when you auction it, they don't tell you how much is their reservation price. You just keep quiet and wait for you to bid. And they will tell you, okay, reservation met. Then you stop and you pay. Okay? You are obliged to pay because you bid already. You cannot simply, oh, I didn't bid because it's electronic. So, if you want to know what the volume, you can calculate. Okay? The other one, very expensive, this one. Although, why is it the one that expensive sold the most? Actually, this is the result of the bidding. The law of economics is very simple. If more people want to buy something, it will become more expensive. That's what happened. Big demand, less demand. So cannot go behind law of economics. Okay. So why I say this is trouble, this one, yeah? This one. In June, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, okay? This project faced trouble. Because Vera register, the one that's supposed to verify their unit of carbon dioxide, found out that the Wildlife Alliance, which is the company operating on the ground, the project developer, actually involved in human rights abuse. They burn indigenous people house, because indigenous people house before this actually REDD plus project, REDD, okay? This too many jargons to remember in a night, okay? It simply means United Nations, okay? These people before National Park, they used to live inside, okay? They claim customary rights over the land. So when the park existed, they were forced to stay on the fringe, on the outside of the boundary, and because many of the things inside, they go back, and many of them go back to where they came from, and that Wildlife Alliance burned their house, destroy the machine, they burn their paddy, hill paddy and everything, okay? So this is a big issue. So the question is, 11 banks, not 10 banks, Malaysian bank, keep this contract, 100,000 worth, 100,000 contract of this project. What are you going to do with that contract? Because it is violating VCU, verifiable carbon unit. Okay, if you burn native people house and whatever their livelihood is destroyed, means this project is not good. And this is what exactly why NGO in Sabah concerned about that NCA. Okay, this thing can happen and already happened in Cambodia. And the thing is, bank who bought that contract, Petronas, AM Bank, all the AM, Bumi Putra, Telecom Malaysia, all Malaysian banks keep this contract. Who was the seller of the contract? Who sold them? Just now I said banks bought them, right? That project just now is not the one who sold it. Okay, if you want to buy something, you need to find a seller, right? The seller is Vitol Asia. Okay, have you heard of Vitol Asia? Vitol Asia actually is a Dutch company, very old company, oil company, okay, trading oil. They have a refinery in Johor to refine crude oil. They need to refine means they need to reduce sulfur content of oil from 3.5 to 0.5 because this is international standard. So this one actually is another way for them to become decarbonized. Okay, this is one way. Okay, and this refinery actually constructed by Chinese National Petroleum Corporation. This is a Petronas equivalent of China. They move one big structure from China to Johor, and you see the connection. Okay, this Vito went to Cambodia and also go to Linshu and sign agreement and sold that CO2 storage and CO2 sink. Okay, this is Anwar Ibrahim say he gave 10 million to kickstart the market just now. I already talked about, okay, 150,000 units of carbon credit. Okay, I think I will skip that one. You can read later. So actually, this is the last slide. So after all this, yeah, so we know who is the polluters. Those polluters actually interested to offset their carbon emission. So far, no, except Petronas, because Petronas keep some of those contracts, that 150,000 contract. Okay, but now that Cardamom got trouble, I don't know. That's big question. So they actually wanted to do different thing, carbon capture and storage. So when they emit carbon dioxide, they will catch them, put them in a can, and store it somewhere. Okay? Sound very science fiction, right? In the picture like this, this is my last slide. When you drill oil and gas, you use in the industry, and this one emit carbon dioxide and whatever GHG, you put in the tank, this is a can, you can them, seal, and you can either put them under water, or you put back here, you inject deep underground, the same way you take them out. And this style, this way of dealing with carbon emission, they have a good thing and bad thing, but mostly bad. Because it's expensive, then it's dangerous. It is very dangerous. Okay? What if the pipe, this is using piping, going here from here. What if it's next to your house and leak? You know what happened to you when you exposed to carbon dioxide? Just carbon dioxide. It's like people expiate. Yes, people strangle you. If you don't believe, you can try. You own a car inside your garage and let it run. Yes, carbon dioxide also can. The same way people put Coca-Cola CO2 inside, it can kill too. Okay. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Thank you very much.